All right, what do we got in the news?
All right, let's go over to Canada. There's a few stories out of there. First off, just get this one out of the way. Justin and Sophie Trudeau, Canada's first couple, are splitting up.
Good.
Good.
I hate him.
Well, so they released their statement, quote, after many meaningful and difficult conversations, we made the decision to separate. But they're still going on their planned vacation next week with their family. So they're still doing that. It was in the books. But anyway, first couple is splitting up.
I wish they'd be more honest. Like after many years, Justin made the decision to fuck somebody younger.
Yeah, I would respect
that's what's
that.
probably going on.
I think his dad was into that too.
Oh, Trudeau had affairs with a lot of famous people too. His father, Pierre Trudeau, right? Yeah, like
Pierre Trudeau. Yeah.
Didn't he sleep with Gloria Vanderbilt? I think that was. I remember hearing something about that. Or,
I don't know. Ask Chris. Yeah. Oh no! Wait a minute. He doesn't know who.
You know who Gloria
Peter
Vanderbilt
is?
Do you know who? Do you know who Gloria Vanderbilt's son is?
I don't like this game.
Do you know who Gloria Vanderbilt's son is?
Peter.
He's famous. He's a famous newsman.
Now make sure I answer all these questions before you do it.
No, I won't. He's a very famous newsman.
Well, look, you either know or you don't know.
And he's gay. I'll give you that hint too.
Anderson Cooper.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right.
That's not a hint. That's you telling him what the answer is.
Don Lemon's gay. Could have been Don Lemon.
Okay.
Right? Out openly. I'm not outing anybody.
Well, Don Lemon is black.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know what color Gloria Vanderbilt is.
Don Lemon's not yellow? All right.
Damn, that's
so
awful.
Also in Canada, there's a story. So there's this woman, this truck driver in Quebec, and so the trucking company she worked for has been forced to rehire her. They've been ordered to reinstate her as a driver after she was fired after drinking at least 9 beers before she lost control of her truck on a Pennsylvania highway.
She sounds slim. When I hear Canadian trucker pounding
it's funny you say that because I was just going to say, you know what her name is? Another obscure reference? Large Marge. What's that from? Come on. Oh, my God, Chris.
I'm sorry, dude.
Related to somebody big who just died. You don't know what this is from?
It's from a movie.
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
Is that Pee-wee's?
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I'm not
rest in peace.
I'm not gay and I'm not 13. So really sorry.
Sorry. Obscure references. That's my jam.
But yeah, I thought Pee-wee, but I've never a Pee-wee
When
fan.
she drops him off at the bar, the famous dun, 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 when he does the tequila dance, she drops him off, says, go in and tell him Large Marge sent you. All right, sorry. What happened? Drunk?
Well, anyway, so the reason that they have to reinstate her is because drinking was a result of her disability. Alcoholism. So, seriously, that's what she
yes, I've been telling people that for years about my job.
God.
Yeah.
No more Ubering for you, bro.
Yeah, so the labor union saying the trucking company should have made a reasonable accommodation for her disability, which is alcoholism. And so anyway, she damaged a truck. There were no injuries. She stopped twice to get a six-pack. She admitted to drinking at least 9 of the beers while driving. She had a 0.18 blood alcohol level. And she told her employer about her drinking problem a week after the crash and a day after she sought medical help to help her with her condition. But yeah, so this company was forced to reinstate her.
Wow. Also, I like that she just admitted to the 9 beers.
Yeah.
It's just been 9 beers.
Wow.
Can't count.
Yeah, and hire. Years ago, I wrote about a guy in Arizona, true case. He was at a bar very close to his house. He wanted to get drunk, but he had drove and he wanted to get home. So he pounded like 5 shots of tequila.
Oh, and ran.
Got in his car and drove home.
Right.
And they won with this argument that by the time he timed it so that his blood alcohol level would have been below, because it takes a while to absorb into your blood.
Yeah,
so by the time they drew his blood, it showed he was drunk. But at the time that he got pulled over, he would not have been legally drunk, and he got off. That's crazy.
I know a guy who got a DUI in his own driveway.
How do you do that?
He had a couple of drinks. Oh, God, this poor guy. He's not a drinker. He's not a drinker.
Oh.
He's my only friend. He's a lawyer. He's a guy who's the most responsible non-alcoholic in the world. but he had like 2 beers or 3 beers or like whatever got him right there, some Christmas party or something like nearby, just drove home, pulled up in his driveway, got it in his driveway.
Cop followed him home.
Or just like literally just was lighting him up right as he was turning into his driveway, whatever. Had to do the whole attend all the AA classes and all. No less of an alcoholic than this guy.
Sad.
Had to do all the service and the suspension of the license and the whole attending the classes and all of it in his own driveway.
He should have pretended to be a cop like me. They probably would have let him off right away.
Should ask the guy
Didn't have
first.
my shields in the house.
Where's your shield number?
Shield. I love that. I'm going to use that next time.
Yeah, because when your big black commanding officer calls you into his office and starts screaming at you for playing by your own rules and being a cop on the edge, he will yell, "Done! I had to lift your shield for this."
Oh.
Lift your shield is what he says, right? Because he's got the mayor, he's got the DA, and the city council up his ass after the whole farmers market incident. And he should you're on thin ice, and he should lift your shield.
Remember years ago when that old man drove through the farmer's market in Santa Monica, killed 11 people?
Mm-hmm.
If someone was auctioning off the steering wheel to his car, and you bought it, what does that say about you?
That's ghoulish.
That's
I don't
ghoulish.
like it.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Shouldn't have
Pussy
done it.
goes
Shouldn't
dry.
have bought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyway, so and also the Teamsters Canada, the another labor union, they're defending her too because they're saying that we have the obligation to defend our members regardless of circumstances.
Disability, Chris.
Yeah, so she's
disability.
Wow.
That's her
It's
disability.
not alcoholism; it's a career.
She's
Chris,
driving with a
okay?
disability.
It's funny, like, so Canada is, I'd say they're 4 to 7 years ahead of California in terms of being progressive. But the thing about being progressive is it kind of starts off with like, hey, good vibes. You know what I mean? Let's take care of the elderly. They need air conditioning. Let's all chip in and get them an air conditioner. Something. But it always spirals into Sodom and Gomorrah, and then it ends up biting them in the ass. Like every city, New York declares we're a sanctuary city. There's no illegal person. There's no such thing as an illegal person. We're a sanctuary city. So then the border towns go, good, put the illegals on the bus and drop them off at a place that wants them. And now New York's like, what the fuck is going on here? We don't have facilities. We're setting them up on soccer fields. And then everyone in New York who said love is love and science is the answer and there are no borders, there are no boundaries. The people who love John Lennon because he has an imagination are going, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Which always makes me laugh. So Canada's ahead of us. It is ahead of, LA's turning into a piece of shit, but Canada's more progressive. And so eventually your good vibe shit just turns into obese, alcoholic female truckers running an 18-wheeler through a schoolyard. Right. That's in the name of this movement. But this is how it ends.
Well, I'm on board with it because I'm wondering now, if I got pulled over, I am the host of What We're Drinking with Dan Dunn. That's a valid defense I could use is I'm working, and you're hindering my ability. I just came from recording my show, and I drank a bunch of vodka with Dan Aykroyd, and you're hindering my ability to do my job.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me I can't drive to the show and drink.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty much what they argued, and could I get away with it in California? Because I'm thinking I'm going to start drinking and driving more.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
So that Quebec trucking company, they fired her right away. They were wrong.
Had to reinstate her.
All right, one last Canada story.
I love that.
I know.
It's a disease.
One last Canada story while we're up here. You always complain about
couldn't we start arguing that being a pedophile is a disease? I mean, as long as we're talking about classification of afflictions,
that's a mental illness.
I would argue that being a pedophile is a mental illness.
I'm staying away from the pedophile because last time I
yeah,
told my
you can't
pedophile
touch
jokes, it was bad.
Don't do it, Dan.
The crowd turned on me quick.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You always complain about what the electronic freeway signs here are saying and all these just worthless, useless messages. I want to get your thoughts on this. So Canada has just launched some new warning labels for their cigarettes.
Oh.
but they're putting it on each individual cigarette. So now every cigarette in Canada
This is what I'm talking about.
has a new saying. I'll give you some of them. Cigarettes.
All right, but do. Because,
It's right over the filter.
It's literally on the cigarette.
Yeah,
but
they're putting ink on the filter.
Here's my thing now. I'm sure it's the ink that's going to cause the cancer. Don't you feel like Gavin Newsom or whoever is sitting around in California going,
Do this.
yeah, what's next for us? Like I'm telling you, it's a perfect example. We're a little behind, but this shall.
Oh yeah, Gavin's liking this.
This shall become something that we do as well.
Right.
Yes, go ahead.
So on the cigarettes, they say there are 6 messages right now. Cigarettes damage your organs. Cigarettes cause cancer. Tobacco smoke harms children. Cigarettes cause impotence. Cigarettes cause leukemia. Poison in every puff. Some alliteration for you there too. So they are the first nation to start printing on each individual cigarette.
Is it the
And-
part that goes in your mouth, or is it the tip?
That's the part. Yeah, it's the part that goes in your mouth.
So the message is in your mouth.
it's on the filter.
Yeah,
You can't
right.
even see it.
Right.
All right. That's dumb.
Well, so yeah, I mean, look, think of the advertising opportunities they're missing out on cigarettes now too. But they have already announced that the second set of 6 phrases, they have another set of 6 phrases. We can expect those in 2026. So they've already announced that they have another.
and meanwhile,
I'm on the edge of my seat.
there's some fucking bureau, some commission. People are all getting paid to sit around
I'm in the wrong
and come up with this
The
stuff.
cigarette
amazing.
companies need to counter it with shit that we used to hear. Smoking makes your tits bigger.
Yeah.
The kids will think you're cool. And you know what? Smoking does harm children. But you know what? If you need to keep them in line, a lit cigarette.
Yeah, right in the
That'll
back
do
of the
it.
neck.
Yeah,
Couple burn
that'll
marks.
stop them
Yeah, that
from their
fucking-
yelling.
That Uber driver would have been all ears if he felt the sting of your butt on the back of his neck. Tell him that is Cop 101.
That'll teach
That's a
you
cop on the
to
edge.
question
That's-
my credentials as a
right.
shield carrying something.
I'll get you the wrap down off the air.
Can you give me a list of stuff? Send it to me, please. Terms I need to effectively be able to
Yeah,
cop.
you could say that your partner died chasing a perp on a 4-way stop when a guy UPS guy blew a 4-way stop. That's how your partner died.
Yeah.
That's good. That'll bring some sympathy.
Yeah.
Perp. I like perp.
Yeah, say perp. You got to shorten everything or have your own name for everything.
How'd you like to be a perp, buddy?
That's right.
That'll scare him. Does that sound like something a cop would say? I'll make you a perp.
What you would do is you'd cite the traffic code. It's CA 401. Says,
Is it
"Must
really,
come
or
to
are
a
you making
complete
that
stop."
up?
No, I'm making it up.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. You're not a cop.
That's true.
You're making stuff up.
I'll
have to come
drag
to a
your ass
complete
down.
stop.
I'll drag your ass down to the station. They still call it the station?
You can't say paddy wagon.
No,
That's offensive.
That's offensive to the Irish. I know.
Right.
My last name's Dunn. And you know what you can't do in the paddy wagon too? You can't put them in the back and drive like this. Smash them all over. Ever since Baltimore.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's what they did to that guy.
They threw him in the back of the paddy wagon, and the guy drove erratically.
Right.
That killed him. Why am I laughing? That's not funny. I don't think that's funny at all. Anybody listening? Anybody that has anything to do with producing my movie, I find nothing about what happened to that guy.
What would you pay for that paddy wagon, though? All right.